Substack read, Breaking Your Own Trust and How Not to. You know when you want to make a change in your life and you say to yourself something like, I'm going to get up early and actually start the day with meditation, or I'm done saying yes to things that drain me, or this week I'm carving out time for my passion project and it's a non-negotiable. Or maybe it's something like, I'm going to stick to my bedtime and finally prioritize rest. Or I'm not letting that one text message pull me back in a loop I've already outgrown. It might seem at the time like you're just setting a little intention, but it's not really an intention, is it? Because words are like spells, and when you speak your word, you cast one. And if you know how spells work, you'll know that casting them creates an energetic thread of imbalance in the field that can only resolve and become balanced once the spell comes to be. Every time you speak your words, it's actually more like a sacred agreement with yourself. Every time you declare the agreement to yourself or to others, whether it's with your health, your heart, your dreams, or your healing, you're making an energetic contract. And here's the truth that took me years to figure out, especially as a manifesting generator with ADHD, because this lady has a million ideas a day, and honestly, I forget a lot. Whether you follow through with your word or not, it matters. Why? Well, aside from spell work and energetic balance, every time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how tiny, you're building something rare and powerful. You're building self-trust, self-respect, and self-worth. And together, these create the foundation for authentic confidence, the kind of self-love that magnetizes a truly beautiful life. The kind that doesn't wobble in the face of rejection, the kind that doesn't shrink to make others comfortable, the kind that lets you say with full conviction, my needs matter. I matter. But when we don't follow through, when we ghost our own goals or abandon our boundaries, we feel it deeply and energetically. Quietly, we chip away at our self-trust. And when we break the trust too many times, it gets harder and harder to believe in ourselves. That's the part that hurts the most. Not the missed meditation, not the broken boundary, not the unprioritized action. It's the wobble in your own integrity with yourself. So hang on. We're also imperfect humans, so how do we handle that part? We know we need compassion, aka let's not beat ourselves up for being human, but we also know that breaking our own agreements chips away at our self-trust. So what's the solution? Here's what's working for me. Make fewer promises. Slow, consistent growth, adding more agreements over time is more sustainable than going all in and flopping on all of them. Make honest ones. Meet yourself where you are. Most of the time, you know in your heart whether you're going to follow through. So be real with yourself. Show up for you, especially when no one is watching. These are the moments that matter the most. Forgive yourself and go again. You will break your agreement sometimes. The fewer the better, but it will happen. The key is holding space to A, take responsibility. B, forgive yourself. C, decide how to approach it better next time. And D, recommit to something you can follow through with and rebuild the trust from there. It's micro moments of trust building that's going to create the most consistency to prove to yourself that you can trust yourself. So what does it actually look like in real life? Let's say your back is feeling tight and uncomfortable and you decide to start doing a morning yoga practice, and you make an agreement to get up an hour earlier to do a 45-minute yoga session each day. You stick with it every morning for a few weeks and you feel amazing. Your back has started to feel better, you've got less pain, and you're just feeling good. And then the winter sets in and it starts to get darker and colder and you start snoozing the alarm. A few days go by and then a week. Eventually you just stop setting the alarm altogether and you tell yourself, I'll start again in spring, and your back starts to hurt again. You keep saying you'll start soon, but you don't. And the habit is long gone. And the heaviness of not showing up starts to creep in other areas of your life. So why do we do this? If following through with an agreement makes us feel better, builds trust, and boosts our confidence, self-love, self-respect, all the things, then why don't we always follow through? Why do we ghost ourselves? Why do we make beautiful promises and then abandon them? There are so many reasons. Here are a few that come up again and again. For me, for my clients, and probably for you too. Self-sabotage, aka protection in disguise. Sometimes we sabotage our progress because we're afraid of what success will ask of us. If you actually stick to the yoga, if you actually write the book, if you actually honor your boundaries, then what? Who do you become? What shifts in your relationships? What gets uncomfortable? Our subconscious might prefer the familiar discomfort of staying stuck over an unfamiliar discomfort of expansion. So it throws wrenches in our progress, distractions, resistance, avoidance, apathy. This isn't you being broken. It's just your nervous system trying to protect you from change because it hasn't yet learned that it's safe for you to grow. Then there are the energetic blocks. Unprocessed emotions, old stories, or inherited beliefs that act like invisible stop signs. You might want to wake up early and stretch, but a deeper narrative whispers, I don't deserve to feel good. It's selfish to prioritize me. I never stick to anything, so why bother? These inner scripts can be so quiet we barely hear them, but they influence our behavior and actions in powerful ways. Healing energetic blocks means that those stories can be addressed with love. You can challenge them and you can write new ones. And sometimes it's just a matter of rewiring the subconscious mind completely, and you naturally can just start to take new actions from there. The upper limit problem. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite. I feel like if everybody just understood this, the world would be different. But Gay Hendricks coined this idea in The Big Leap, and it's a game changer. Each of us has a built-in thermostat of how much success, joy, love, creativity, and ease that we're allowed to feel. So when life starts to feel too good, when we actually do follow through, and when we feel aligned and magnetic, something inside us says, whoa, this is unfamiliar. Cue the sabotage, cue the spiral, cue the backslide, cue the not showing up for yourself, cue the illness, cue the, oh my gosh, so many things. Much like a sabotaging pattern or a sabotaging behavior, an upper limit will show up in any way that prevents you from moving forward. Not because you don't want joy, not because you don't want all of the love, the success, the ease, all of that, but because part of you believes you're only allowed so much of it before the penny drops or the shoe comes off the other foot or whatever that saying is. Essentially, you will sabotage in all kinds of ways to stay at the level of joy, success, abundance, love, creativity that you've allowed yourself to experience up until this point. So you can work on all of that, but along with that, here is the most important thing. Take the action anyway. If you're breaking your agreements, you need to find a way to stop doing that. And I know this is tough love, but there's no way around it. You need to take the actions that align with your words. It doesn't mean you need to hustle harder. It means you need to either manage your blocks, tweak your agreements, or don't make the agreements in the first place. Let's return to the yoga example. Instead of committing to that 45-minute session, you could make it more manageable. You could tweak your agreement. You could wake up just 10 to 15 minutes earlier, not an hour earlier. Put your yoga mat right next to your bed. Commit to just 10 minutes of gentle movement each day for an entire month. And do it every single day, even when you can't be bothered, especially when you can't be bothered. There's nothing wrong with changing your agreements to match where you're at. so that you can actually deliver on them. Because each time you follow through, you build the trust in yourself. You can always add more later or not. The magic isn't in doing it perfectly. The magic is keeping your word, keeping to your agreements and building your trust. Because here's the thing about sacred agreements. Every single time you do what you say you're going to do, you're making a deposit in the most important account there is, your self-belief. And when that account is full, you become unstoppable. That's the kind of energy that changes everything in your life.